Earlier today, Prime Minister was received by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim at Pradhanaputra complex and was accorded an official welcome ceremony. The leaders thereafter convened for bilateral discussions, both in restricted and delegation level formats, at Seri Pradhana, the official residence of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. The two Prime Ministers reviewed bilateral cooperation across the full spectrum of our partnership, including trade, investments, defense, security, semiconductors, digital technologies, financial technologies, fintech, renewable energy, education, healthcare, culture, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges. They also had the opportunity to discuss key regional and global issues. This was followed by the exchange of bilateral agreements and MOUs. These include exchange of notes on cooperation in the area of semiconductors, health and medicine, security, and technical and vocational education. In addition, the MOU between Malaysia's Anti-Corruption Commission and India's Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, on combating and preventing corruption was signed. We also had an MOU on cooperation in the field of disaster management, a memorandum of cooperation between Employees State Insurance Corporation, ESIC, in India, and Perkeso in Malaysia on social security, and we also had an agreement on audiovisual cooperation, all of which were exchanged. The leaders also witnessed the exchange of letters on the renewal of the bilateral MOU on UN peacekeeping cooperation. Malaysia also handed over the instrument of its accession to the International Big Cats Alliance. Other MOUs and agreements signed during this visit include the agreement between NIPM and PayNet on cross-border QR-based merchant payments, and the MOU between University of Cyberjaya and the Institute of Training and Research in Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, India, on academic collaboration. The Prime Ministers also addressed the media. PM announced setting up of a dedicated Thiruvalluvar Center at University Malaya. It may also be noted that the Prime Minister had earlier in 2024 announced establishment of a Thiruvalluvar Chair of Indian Studies in University Malaya, which was operationalized in October 2025. Prime Minister also announced Thiruvalluvar scholarships for Malaysian scholars. With the objective of further strengthening our engagement and delivery of services to the Indian community, the Prime Minister has also announced the establishment of a Consulate General in Malaysia. The 10th meeting of the India-Malaysia CEOs Forum was convened on 7th February 2026. The outcome document of the forum's deliberations was presented by the co-chairs before the Prime Ministers. During the visit, Prime Minister also engaged with CEOs of prominent companies, Petronas, Berjaya, Khazana, and Dato KS Fua of Faisen Electronics regarding their plans for India in key sectors. The visit also coincides with India's presidency of BRICS, of which Malaysia is now a partner country. Prime Minister congratulated Malaysia on its successful conclusion of its ASEAN chairship and reiterated India's commitment to working closely with Malaysia for further strengthening the ASEAN-India Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. Malaysia remains a key partner in India's Act East policy, Vision Mahasagar, and Indo-Pacific vision. Prime Minister also thanked Malaysia for its support in the ongoing review of the ASEAN-India Trade in Goods Agreement, ITIGA. Our economic partnership is strong and growing. Malaysia is India's third largest trading partner in ASEAN, with bilateral trade close to about $20 billion. Our trade has diversified, and it includes a variety of agricultural products, chemicals, minerals, appliances, and machinery. In emerging areas such as semiconductors and digital technology, our bilateral engagements have intensified. The inaugural Malaysia-India Digital Council was first held a few months ago. On semiconductors, there is collaboration underway between IIT Madras Global and the Advanced Semiconductor Academy of Malaysia, as well as the Indian Electronics and Semiconductor Association and Malaysia Semiconductor Industry Association. Our countries have also exchanged notes on taking this cooperation further so as to strengthen the semiconductor value chain, focusing on technology innovation, workforce development, and supply chain stability to build a resilient and competitive ecosystem. Both sides have also exchanged views on cooperation in digital technology, cybersecurity, AI, and digital public infrastructure, among others. The Prime Ministers also exchanged views on ongoing bilateral defense, security, and maritime cooperation. Our engagement in this area has intensified in recent years. The first India-Malaysia security dialogue was convened last year in January 2025. The 13th Malaysia-India Defence Committee meeting was convened in February 2025, where we finalized the terms of reference for establishment of a Sukhoi 30 forum and a strategic affairs working group. Both the countries also have regular bilateral exercises, Harimau Shakti for the Army, Samudra Lakshmana for the Navy, and Udara Shakti for the Air Force. The 5th edition of Harimau Shakti was held in December 2025 in Rajasthan. Regular port visits, staff talks, conduct of training courses, etc. are also facets of our bilateral defense cooperation. Collaboration between our defense industries is also growing. A regional office of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL, has been functional. Indian defense companies MDL, BEML, HAL, among others, have been showcasing India's defense industrial prowess as prestigious events such as Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition. Malaysia has also been regularly participating in our key defense exhibitions such as Aero India. In their discussions today, the two Prime Ministers spoke about taking our strategic cooperation further in the area of defense and security. The presence of a 2.9 million strong Indian community in Malaysia is another important facet of our bilateral relationship. Not only does the community act like a living bridge between the two countries, but it also plays a valuable role in their economic development. Various initiatives have been undertaken in the recent past for the benefit of our diaspora members. This includes the extension of OCI cards to the 6th generation of PIOs in Malaysia. Similarly, for the benefit of Indian students studying in Malaysia, the government has recently replenished the Scholarships Trust Fund with 3 million ringgit added to the corpus. The growing number of Indian workers and professionals has necessitated closer cooperation between the two countries in the area of labor welfare. With this in mind, an MOC, Memorandum of Collaboration, between ESIC and PERCESO on social security programs and activities for Indian citizens as insured persons in Malaysia has been finalized today. Both the countries have also instituted measures to promote P2P exchanges in addition to cultural and commercial contacts. We are extending visa-free or gratis e-visas to each other's nationals for tourism. As a result, in 2025, 1.4 million Indian tourists traveled to Malaysia, whereas 300,000 Malaysian tourists visited India. Malaysia thus became the largest source of inbound tourism to India from the ASEAN region. The agreement between NIPL and PayNet today would take our people-to-people cooperation a step further by making cross-border QR-based payments possible. The outcomes of this visit, we can say, are of immense significance, not only because of the range and diversity of subjects covered, but also the positive impact they would bring to our people and therefore reflect the true spirit of our comprehensive strategic partnership. Thank you very much.